Hi, you're watching Nme. I'm Andrew Drendel. We're here in London, where Slipknot have taken over Camden. His new guy is Clown.
What's happening? How you doing?
Not bad, mate. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
You good? Amazing. So, congratulations. This week, you guys were nominated for 2 Nme Awards, Best Band in the World and Best Album in the World.
Well, thank you very much. It's been a very surreal time to make the album, and then more importantly, a surreal time for all the people who've had it and what they think of it. It's just been a really beautiful moment in our career, I think.
Yeah. I mean, from an outsider, it looks like this is like a level of universal acceptance and love leveled at Slipknot that's never really been before, not on this scale.
Well, it can be a little bit confusing. You know, one must ask why, but I know why, and you know why, and the kids know why, and that's all that really matters. So it's a life well lived and perceived, and we could be nothing but honored to, I guess, be in a culture that is as beautiful as ours. So it's bigger than I ever thought it could be, which is beautiful in its own sense.
Yeah. Well, it's cool, speaking of the culture of Slipknot, because out here, this is basically like, we're in Camden, by the way, where Slipknot are launching No. 9 whiskey, and you've basically just made Disneyland for Slipknot fans out there.
Well, thank you for that. You know, a lot of it with us is challenge. And as you know, booze in America and its laws, and booze over here and its laws, 2 different worlds. So the challenge is to get our booze made from Iowa, our corn, and get it over here. That's really what this is about, to be able to share. You know, no culture should be separated from each other. So we like to be able to bring everything and anything that we are to our people.
So it's about kind of extending the Slipknot family.
Well, absolutely, 100%. I mean, that, any way you want to cut it or dice it, that's really what it is. I mean, what else could it be? It's just our people, our world, our culture, you know, and we're just lucky,
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, what can you tell us about it? Because if it's got the Slipknot name on it, I'm guessing it's like intense but nuanced or something.
It's basically, you know, there's a company real close to my house in Iowa, and we make this with Iowa corn, and they're people like I believe we are, and it's just very easy to communicate and make art. And this is the type of art that uses time and temperature, so I'm very interested in things that take time. And this is a level of art that, you know, it's more into the school world, which I was no good at. So I'm more interested in things like this as I get older. So it's amazing. It's not a gimmick. I don't do crap like that. So it's for the people.
Well, speaking of like extending the culture and keeping it gimmick free, I'm fucking excited about the Knotfest cruise. Like, what's that gonna look like?
Well, I don't know. A bunch of crazy people on one boat for an extended period of time could get. It's kind of like the making of a horror movie, kind of, but one doesn't know unless one tries. So initially, I don't like the idea, but things are so good right now and people understand. So I have a feeling we're actually going to make it what it needs to be.
Yeah.
And that's the real truth behind it. It's, you know, you hear cruise and these things and you're like, there's just no way that can be. But, you know, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that that is a truthful experience, that I can walk off and go, I love that. I love, first of all, we're all pirates anyway. Yeah. So we're taking it really literal, and we're literally going out and
going to war.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a once in a lifetime sort of thing. You know, whether or not we ever do it again, I don't know, because we haven't even done the first one. But it's definitely going to be different and surreal and kind of challenging. And again, I'm really into challenges right now. You know,
yeah.
Things feel easy, then you get complacent and just, I don't know.
Like, 'cause like a cruise is up there. Are there any kind of like challenges on your bucket list that you are really itching to kind of?
For Slipknot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, you know, there's a million things. You know, I want to, you know, I want to play Hong Kong just so I can eat food.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to eventually play Hawaii on the band's dollar. You know, we played everywhere else. How come I can't play Hawaii?
Yeah.
Because no one wants to go. So it's, you know, there's a billion bucket lists, but really, it's the same dream. It's just get up there for the 90 minutes, and you know that's the closest thing to God I'm going to get to, and I still need that. So it's really still about that. It's still really about that 90 minutes.
Yeah.
That's really the focus of everything. Still.
Yeah.
Still.
So you guys are playing the O2 Arena tonight, which is massive. What can you tell us about what you've done to switch things up in the Slipknot circus on this show?
Definitely a different set list. This is actually probably the hardest set list we've ever had. I judge it off of things that I have to do more temperature-wise. You know, yes, there's songs. Yes, you play it, but there's a temperature behind the song. There's a projection that we give, and that's either 100% or 190 sometimes. And this set is just 190. So by the end of it, it's a real challenge. And it's also a real indifferent set to get used to for a rhythm, which makes it very interesting for Slipknot. You know, Bleeder last night, a lot of blood on stage because
You okay?
you know this set is different.
Yeah.
And that the blood just proves it last night. Like something got out of line. Next thing you know, there's blood everywhere, and you're like, that's a new set and new feelings and temperature, and so things feel real good with that. And you know, we were talking. London is one of our houses.
Yeah.
You know, so this is like a convention of our culture. There's going to be a show, and there's going to be all that, but this is really like a homecoming, and this is one of our houses. So, you know, it's going to be extremely dangerous tonight.
Yeah.
Very dangerous, but there'll be no arrests. There'll be no deaths. There'll be no injuries. This community's got each other's backs, and it's usually that way. You know what I mean? The perception is, Slipknot's in town, but no, really, it's a good thing. You know, it's a good thing to get our culture together for tonight's medicine.
Yeah. And speaking of the community, New Guy, everyone like has really taken New Guy to heart. Like the way you play is like nothing I've seen before. Amazing.
You're not going to get him to talk.
Just saying, man. I love your work.
Hey, Slipknot is an ongoing mechanism that doesn't even know itself. And that's what's so interesting about it is it blooms differently every year. So none of us know what's going to happen. I don't really care. I just wake up and live the day. So having a lot of fun. Don't like the blood much anymore, but kind of made me sick last night, actually. I know that seems kind of weird, but there was a lot of blood on stage, and it was really not something I like to see. This really has different effects on me these days.
Yeah. Do you think we'll hear the record of All Hope Is Gone outtakes this year, or is that like further down the line?
You're talking about Look Outside Your Window.
Yeah.
Well, Look Outside Your Window is a very unique art piece on its own. So it's sort of timeless, in my opinion. And so I try not to worry about it too much. It feels like I've waited this long for it to be right, and it just never has. Like, we were going to release it way early on this cycle, but this takes precedence, and that's not supposed to be confused. It's just a piece of the puzzle. It's not supposed to be watered down or marketed really. It's really a piece of the imagination that's missing that people might really, need it. So hopefully on this cycle somewhere, right now it was scheduled for Christmas. I just quit asking, you know what I mean? Because I don't want it to interfere with this.
Yeah.
And mainly because of what it is. It's mainly because of what it is. It needs its own space, and we're having a good time enjoying this album, and we have no ego with that. So we're not trying to make that corporate or whatever. It's really just beautiful art that we want to share in the right way.
Yeah.
So it's going to be on this album cycle at some point. And like everything we're doing right now, it's just going to come out. And, you know, people won't even know. You know, it'll just be this thing that happens. So
Just a river of work.
yeah, looking forward to that, though. I think people will really enjoy it.
Amazing. Looking forward to it. Guys, thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys.